You're going up to Austin again.
Going up to what?
You're going to play in the place where you had a lot of success. How's it going to feel being on the other sideline?
It's just part of what goes on, So you go out the locker room to the other sideline. So I know it's a great experience. Our players are excited about it. It's one of the cool places in the Pac-12 to play. The fans are unbelievable, and it'll be a good experience for our team.
How do you think the fans will receive you?
I'm not. I haven't really thought about that. I mean, got to watch them on film, and that gets your full attention. So I'm trying to think about some other things that you don't control. We got our hands full with their offense and their defense and their special teams. So that's kind of what our focus and concentration has been on. So.
What does the offense look like? What do they do well on offense?
They run the ball. They obviously got an outstanding quarterback. One of the top quarterbacks in the country. Big, tall, athletic. Can beat you with his feet if you allow him to. Is very accurate with his throws. So, he's got to have the everything runs through him. So he's got to be the focus and attention that you're worried about in terms of what they're doing offensively.
And what if Herbert doesn't play? Are you preparing for that as well?
Yeah, I mean, Burmeister's played. He's 4 of 8 so far for 27 yards. So we've watched him play. He played a lot of games last year. So you've got some film on him, and we've studied that and taken a look at that. But we're preparing for Herbert.
Offensive line looked like it might have had maybe its best game protection-wise against Utah. Looks like Wilton had lots of time back there.
Yeah, I mean, that group, obviously, it was Boston's 4th game, his 4th game ever playing center, so, they're starting to kind of gel together. We had Murph was in, but then Murph got hurt, so moving Chris over to guard and Boston center, I think there's a little bit more familiarity with all of those guys, and that's natural. I think the more games they get, the more experience they get. It's always still a work in progress, but Justin does such a good job with that group. I think that they're getting better, and you can see improvement from those guys, so that's a positive that hopefully we can continue to build upon.
Is Murphy going to petition for another year?
I don't know exactly what the plan is with Murphy right now. He's actually trying to come back this year, so we'll just see what happens. But again, that's all in the hands of the medical staff.
So he just had surgery, right?
Yeah, he had a meniscus. Not a meniscus, he just had a meniscus, so I don't know. From what I was told, it's not a long-term season-ending thing. So there's a shot as the season goes along that he can come back. But again, if and when he's cleared, then we'll take a look at it. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So that's just we just wait and find out. So we'll go from there. So.
Did you previously work with Justin Fry before? How did you get in contact with him to bring him here?
No, I've known Justin. I know a lot of people that worked with him and knew him when he was at Florida as a GA and at Temple and at Boston College. So and I had friends that coached with him before. So.
What do you like about his coaching style that makes it?
I just think he's really smart, really intelligent. He's a great technician. He played the position, but he has a great way of communicating and having our players understand exactly what needs to be accomplished. And I'm seeing constant improvement out of that group, so it's been positive.
How's Dorian progressing?
Dorian's doing well. No plague, so we have not had any plague. So we'll see. And again, we've got today, tomorrow, and Friday as we go through it. So we're not rash to jump to anything. And that's what I meant by the other day is that, there's nothing to do on a Monday to say, hey, let's do this, and then something happens later on in the week where, you just let it play out. The amount of reps we get in training sessions, there's enough to distribute between Wilton and Dorian that we can get a real good look at it, and then we'll make a decision on what gives us the best chance to win on Saturday.
Did you get Johnny's arm put back on?
Johnny's arm? No. He actually, some plague got into his arm. No, he looked good. I just saw him walking out here, so he said he looked good. So we'll see what happens.
What does Oregon's defense do well?
It's Coach Levitt's done a really good job. Dating back to his days in South Florida. So they're very sound. They're very well coached. It's a good scheme. They put edges on the defense. They've got a real good secondary behind it, so they can cover and they can generate a pass rush with their 2 real athletic outside linebackers.
What's your favorite memory of Autzen Stadium?
Just the experience, what game day was like there. So you get a chance to experience that again. But actually, my favorite experience, when you asked me, was on senior day when I was in 2007, and how the crowd appreciated Dennis Dixon. Obviously Dennis got hurt. We had a real good run going, and then Dennis hurt his knee. But just the way the crowd responded to Dennis on senior day, he wasn't playing. He still got the loudest ovation. Kind of brought tears to your eyes because of what Dennis meant to that football team and just how much the crowd appreciated Dennis and what he did that season.
How do you feel like the crowd's going to appreciate you on Saturday?
Again, we talked about that. They asked the question earlier. My concern is just trying to get some first downs and stop them. And we don't really have enough time to think about that part of it. Is if I'm thinking about that, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. We're trying to prepare for a really good Oregon team. So.
you have any updates on Colin Salmon?
Yeah, I gave an update yesterday. Colin's out for the season with an ACL.
From what you've been able to see of Dorian in training, how do you think he's been doing?
I think he's done a nice job.